Have you ever wondered how your childhood experiences might be influencing your adult relationships? It's a compelling question, isn't it? Childhood, that formative time in our lives, is like the foundation upon which we build our future relationships. Psychology tells us that our early experiences play a significant role in shaping our adult lives. The joys, the sorrows, the triumphs, and the challenges we face as children can leave lasting impressions, subtly guiding our actions and reactions in relationships well into adulthood. In this video, we're going to explore the profound impact of childhood experiences on adult relationships. From the influence of our parents' relationship dynamics to the repercussions of emotional neglect, we'll cover a range of topics that may shed light on why we behave the way we do in our relationships. So, buckle up for a fascinating journey into the human psyche. Stay tuned as we delve into some real-life case studies that illustrate this fascinating psychological phenomenon. Consider John, who grew up watching his parents constantly argue and fight. His home, a place that should have been a sanctuary, became a battlefield. This tumultuous environment deeply affected him, setting a blueprint for his future relationships. John's parents' volatile relationship was his first exposure to what a partnership looked like. It was their loud arguments and icy silences that taught him how partners interacted. Unconsciously, John internalized their behavior, shaping his understanding of love and connection. But this understanding was skewed, marred by the constant conflict he witnessed. As John grew older and started forming relationships of his own, he found himself avoiding conflict at all costs. He had seen the damage it could cause, the hurt it could inflict. He didn't want that for himself or his partners. So, he kept his feelings bottled up, his concerns unvoiced. He chose peace over confrontation, silence over argument. But this approach brought its own set of issues. By avoiding conflict, John was also avoiding honest communication. He was not expressing his needs, his desires, his fears. His partners, in turn, found it difficult to understand him, to connect with him on a deeper level. The very thing that John was trying to avoid, discord, was creeping into his relationships due to his lack of open communication. John's case is not unique. Many of us carry the echoes of our parents' relationships into our own. We learn what love is, what connection is, from those who raise us. If those lessons are fraught with conflict, with misunderstanding, they can shape our own relationships in similar ways. John's case clearly exhibits how exposure to unhealthy relationship dynamics during childhood can impact one's own relationship patterns in adulthood. It's a stark reminder of the profound influence our early experiences have on our lives, and the importance of addressing and healing from these experiences to establish healthier patterns in our adult relationships. Now let's turn our attention to Lisa, who grew up feeling emotionally neglected by her parents. Lisa's story is a poignant example of the long-lasting effects of emotional neglect during childhood. She grew up in a home where her feelings were ignored, her needs were often dismissed, and she was left to fend for herself emotionally. This lack of emotional support left a gaping void in Lisa's life that she has been trying to fill ever since. As a child, Lisa felt invisible, unimportant, and unworthy. She craved for the love, support, and validation that she was not receiving at home. This craving did not disappear as she grew older. Instead, it evolved into a relentless pursuit of validation and love in her adult relationships. In her quest for love, Lisa often found herself in relationships where she was overgiving, constantly seeking approval, and sacrificing her own needs in the process. She was afraid of being alone, of being unloved, and of being unworthy. So she clung to her relationships with a desperate intensity. This led to a pattern of unhealthy attachment styles in her relationships, characterized by neediness, dependency, and fear of abandonment. These attachment styles are a direct result of the emotional neglect Lisa experienced in her childhood. She was never taught how to establish healthy emotional boundaries, how to express her needs in a constructive way, or how to cultivate self-love. As a result, she has struggled with low self-esteem, anxiety, and codependency in her adult relationships. Understanding the roots of Lisa's struggles is crucial. It allows us to see the profound impact of emotional neglect during childhood, and how it can shape a person's relationship patterns in adulthood. It is a clear reminder of the importance of emotional support during a child's formative years. But Lisa's story is not just a tale of struggle. It is also a story of resilience, of self-awareness, and of the potential for healing. With the right support, understanding, and therapeutic interventions, individuals like Lisa can learn to break free from the cycle of unhealthy attachment styles, cultivate self-love, and establish healthier relationships in their lives. Lisa's story illustrates how emotional neglect during childhood can lead to unhealthy attachment styles in adulthood. As we have seen through John and Lisa's stories, childhood experiences can have a profound impact on our adult relationships. The experiences we encounter during our formative years shape our attitudes, behaviors, and even the way we perceive love and relationships. Our childhood experiences, especially those involving our parents, are the first blueprints for our adult relationships. We've seen how John's turbulent relationship with his parents led him to form similar patterns in his adult relationships, often causing conflicts and misunderstandings. On the other hand, Lisa's nurturing and secure bond with her parents gave her the confidence and stability to form healthy relationships in her adulthood. Parental relationships are not the only factor, though. Emotional neglect during childhood, as we've discussed, can leave deep-rooted scars that can influence our relationship patterns. John's emotional neglect led him to develop a fear of intimacy, making it difficult for him to form close and meaningful relationships. Lisa, however, received emotional support from her parents, which helped her understand and express her emotions in a healthy way. These narratives are not about placing blame on our parents or our past. Rather, they're about understanding the roots of our behaviors and patterns in relationships. It's about realizing that our past experiences, no matter how painful or challenging, have shaped us into who we are today. But they don't have to define our future. We encourage you to reflect on your own experiences to understand how they might be impacting your relationships. It's never easy to face our past, especially the painful parts. But doing so can provide valuable insights into our behaviors and patterns, helping us make positive changes. Understanding the influence of our past can empower us to make positive changes and cultivate healthier relationships in the present. Thanks for watching, and remember, self-awareness is the first step to personal growth.